Hey guys, what's going on? PAYTON here once again, and welcome back to another episode of my Manchester United career on FIFA 14. Now, I'm not going to be spending too long going over the game on the weekend against Burnley, because as I'm recording this, it is transfer deadline day, and a lot has already happened. It's amazing, so I'm going to be going over that. But first, the game against Burnley, it ended 0-0. Another poor performance, especially after that game against MK Dons. You would have thought, against Burnley, it should have been an easy game to pick up our first set of 3 points, but we still couldn't do that, so that was disappointing. Also, a new £60 million signing, Angel Di Maria, debuted against Burnley. He was taken off in the 70th minute, and I thought he was the only player for United on that pitch at Turf Moor that showed any degree of optimism for United coming away with a win. He showed signs of why he's worth 60 million, why we forked out for Angel Di Maria, and he just oozed of that quality on the pitch that Manchester United have been missing for so long now. And I just can't wait until we get rolling, start picking up a few wins here and just having him settle into the team now. And some would say, after that performance against Burnley on the weekend, that he already has settled in at Manchester United. I believe before the game against Burnley, he only had 2 training sessions with the squad, and he puts in a performance like that. Brilliant. You know, it just shows his quality, and I'm so excited to see what he can do now for the rest of the season and seasons to come. Now, I know I've brought it up quite a few times in the past, even when David Moyes was at the club last season, but this game plan, which United are going out and executing, you know, just passing it between the defenders and back to De Gea, they need to cut that out because, and I hate to say it, we're going to get caught out and it's going to cost us. There were quite a few examples in the game against Burnley, if any of you are prepared to go back and watch the whole 90 minutes again. But I think it was Blackett and it was Evans that kept passing it back to De Gea, and because it was so predictable, Burnley, they were putting De Gea under so much pressure, and numerous times De Gea just had to knock it out for a Burnley throw. One of these days, it's going to cost the team, and I will have no sympathy whatsoever because they have it coming if they keep playing this way. They need to cut it out, forget about passing it back to De Gea, don't be afraid to leave him all stranded there, alone between the sticks. Just keep attacking the opposition. That's all we need. Someone in the defence that's willing to drive forward. Someone like Rio or Vidic. They're perfect examples. Someone that will keep moving the ball forwards and not be afraid to mix it in with the midfielders, maybe feed the ball to the flanks or straight through the middle and then drop back whilst the rest of the team attack the opposition. I think we will eventually see that, especially when Marcos Rojo sorts out that work permit. Apparently he won't be able to start the QPR game in a couple of weeks' time, which is frustrating for him. You know, he wants to get a couple of games under his belt now, get his debut for the club, and what better way to have that at QPR, but he's not going to get it, which is so unfortunate. But when Luke Shaw returns back from injury as well, you know, we saw enough with him at Southampton last season, how he would love to just keep pushing the ball forwards. And Rafael, we can't forget about him. When he's back from injury, when he's back fully fit, I think we'll be looking at a turnaround definitely in the next coming months for Manchester United. And not to mention all the other players that are on the road to recovery. I mean, you've got Herrera, Michael Carrick coming back soon. It's going to be mental with all the new players that are coming in. Now, going to transfer deadline day, which is happening right now as I'm making this video. Falcao has just signed for United. Well, he hasn't officially signed the contract yet, but a deal has been agreed with Monaco. He will come to Manchester United on a season-long loan with a chance for United to make it a permanent deal. And I think the report figure is somewhere between 44 to 55 million pounds. So if Falcao performs well this season for United, getting quite a few goals to his name, then I can see us actually trying to make that a permanent deal, definitely. And I think we do kind of need a new striker in the team. I know there's quite a few United fans that are saying, oh, we need to be concentrating on our defence more than our attack options because we've got so many. But with Van Persie now out, his off for a knee operation, bringing in Falcao to work with Rooney, maybe Danny Welbeck as well. Hopefully he stays at the club. I'd hate to see Welbeck go. But I think it's a good move for Falcao as well. Hopefully he stays fully fit, because I know over the past couple of seasons for him, he's been riddled with injuries, or a few major injuries here and there. So fingers crossed for Falcao. Now I believe Daley Blind is about to sign as well. I think he was in Manchester over the weekend having a medical. He's just got to sign the papers. So that's another player. He is a very versatile player. You know, he can play as a left back, can play as a centre half, can play as a central midfielder or a winger. You know, he was one of the many players that impressed me during the World Cup for Holland. He's someone that can bring calmness and awareness to the team, and again, that is a quality that Manchester United need at this moment in time. So welcome to Manchester, Daley Blind and Falcao. Can't wait to see them in action for United. Maybe they'll start against QPR after the international break. That would be amazing. And no wonder pretty much every FIFA YouTuber wants to be doing a Manchester United career come the end of September. I mean, look at the amount of players that we've signed, the amount of quality players. Let's just go through the list of players that Woodward has managed to sign up for Manchester United. And you know what? I have a feeling there may be one more player to come before that transfer window slams shut. So let's just have a look at the players that Ed Woodward has managed to sign up for Van Gaal and Manchester United. So starting with Luke Shaw and Ander Herrera right at the start of the transfer window. And then we signed Marcos Rojo. Then we got Angel Di Maria. Now Daley Blind and Falcao. Absolutely amazing. It doesn't get any better than that, or it might do if we manage to sign Arturo Vidal. That would just top off this transfer window for Manchester United. It would be a fantastic capture. So I've got my fingers crossed. Who knows what will happen come 11 o'clock tonight for the transfer deadline day. I will be tuning in to Sky Sports News definitely with good old Jim White. Damn, I can't wait, and I'm going to be active on Twitter as well this evening. If any of you guys haven't yet followed me on Twitter, you can find the link in the description below, and I'll be going through what's happening with Manchester United, discussing it with some of you guys. It's going to be mental. I have a feeling one more player is going to be coming to the club. So what's been happening in my Manchester United save here on FIFA 14? I know I've kind of gone on a bit too long about Manchester United in real life, and I know there's some of you that just tune in to hear what's been happening with my career mode instead of Manchester United in real life. But so as you've been watching, the first game at the start of this episode was against Chelsea. It was in the Champions League quarterfinals. It was the second leg. The first leg, you can see the highlights of that in the previous episode. That game at Old Trafford ended 1-1, Chelsea picking up that crucial away goal. The second leg at Stamford Bridge, as you saw, ended 3-1. We thrashed them 3-1, so the final aggregate score 4-2, and that put us then into the hat for the semi-final draw of the Champions League. And you guessed it, we were drawn against Bayern Munich. We would have to play the first leg, which you guys are watching right now, at the Allianz. So a tough test for Manchester United heading towards the end of the season, when we're having to pick up crucial points in the league if I want to come away with my first league title on this version of FIFA. I haven't done it yet. I know I've mentioned it a couple of times, but I just haven't lifted that Premier League trophy with Manchester United. So that this season was kind of my main focus, and then after that was the Champions League. I'm actually kind of surprised that I've got this far in the Champions League this season, because if you guys remember last season, I started without Champions League whatsoever. I had that test to qualify for it, which I did, obviously, because I'm playing in it now, but getting to the semi-finals is an achievement in itself. But we got off to a bad start against Bayern Munich away from home, and that's certainly not a position you want to be in. Against a team like Bayern Munich, no way. I didn't want that to happen. And I was disappointed with conceding that goal as well. I mean, De Gea should have done a lot better. He could have at least held on to the ball from Schweinsteiger's shot, but just wasn't to be. And as the ball came back out after De Gea punched it away, Benteke just heading it home. Simple pickings for him. So with Munich being a goal in front, the ball was in Manchester United's court. Could we come up with something? Could we get a crucial away goal at the Allianz? It's so difficult to try and get past their defenders. They had Dante starting, Alaba as well. It's just difficult, and I'm sure some of you guys have played against Bayern before on career mode. It's difficult to try and come up with something. Eventually we did get an away goal. It would be Robin van Persie. it may seem like a sweaty goal, but you know what, I don't care. I don't care. It was always going to be a tough game, so I'm going to take absolutely every opportunity to score a goal against a team like Bayern Munich, and that was just the start. Wayne Rooney, simple pass, and look at the time Van Persie took actually taking the shot there, and I'm very fortunate that it creeped just underneath the crossbar. Of course, after that equaliser was scored by Van Persie, Bayern turned up the pressure, but I did notice in both halves of this game at the Allianz, because Bayern were playing such a high line, it was allowing United to hit them on the break, on the counter-attack, and we did that so many times. I failed big time there, I know, with Rooney. It was a chance to actually have a shot, have a go, see if anything could come from it. Knowing my luck, it probably would have gone in, but I was going to go for another cheap sway goal, if that's what you want to call it. I mean, Van Persie was alongside Rooney, he was in support, and you even saw as well that I went for the pass, or I think it was the cross at the time. I was just going to loop it over the top and see if Van Persie could get ahead to it. But Dante, he was just on top of Rooney too quickly. We got another chance in the 82nd minute. That was that perfect opportunity to put ourselves in the lead against such a huge European team like Bayern Munich. It'd be Marco Reus rattling the crossbar with that powerful shot. I think I put too much power behind it, holding down the circle button just a little bit too long. But the team, and I actually playing it, was showing positive signs against such a top side. I was really pleased with our performance, to be fair. I think we held ourselves nicely, but it wasn't the perfect of performances, as for some reason I decided to go in with a slide tackle there with Mata whilst he was on a yellow card. So the ref had no other option but to send him off. It was a terrible challenge, as you'll see on the replay. He will now miss that second leg at Old Trafford against Bayern Munich. Disappointed myself there with that challenge. So that left United down to 10 men with minutes to go, and with that, Bayern Munich, they saw the opening and they just kept piling on the pressure. It was just unbearable at some points. I mean, you saw that shot from Schweinsteiger. Thankfully, it deflected away, giving them a corner. It was another opportunity for them to score, but De Gea came out and punched it away. I managed to hold on for a 1-1 draw. I'm happy with that, especially with the crucial away goal. And in the next episode, you guys will be able to see that second leg. Do we make it through to the Champions League final? You're just going to have to stay tuned. Anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, guys.